Good evening, I'm Prasad, and this is KiniNews. A crucial development. The Home Ministry is diving deep into a review of its directive on religious terminology in publications. This decision comes hot on the heels of the government's withdrawal of an appeal against a groundbreaking court ruling granting a non-Muslim Sarawakian the right to use the word Allah. However, the government faces mounting pressure to explain its withdrawal decision.
The Home Ministry is undertaking a thorough review and update of its directive to effectively address concerns related to the use of religious terminology in publications. Specifically, the directive aims to provide guidance on 4 words: Allah, baitullah, solat, and kaabah. Home Minister Saifuddin Nasution Ismail stated that the need for this review arises from the country's diverse population, consisting of various racial and religious communities. The ruling granted non-Muslim Sarawakian Jill Ireland the right to use the word Allah in her religious practices. Meanwhile, the government is facing calls to provide an explanation for its decision to withdraw the appeal. Pasir Gudang MP Hassan Karim emphasized the importance of clarifying the reasons behind the withdrawal in order to ease public concerns. Hassan questioned why the federal government and the Home Ministry chose to withdraw the case from the Court of Appeal in Putrajaya and why the court was not allowed to make a decision on the matter. The lawmaker raised these concerns in a statement released today.
The Prime Minister has clarified that the court ruling allowing non-Muslims to use the word Allah only applies to Sarawak, as the state has its own rules on the matter.
Menteri Dalam Negeri dah buat penjelasan, ini khusus dalam kes Sarawak. Untuk Sarawak kita faham, Sarawak dulu dia tak terikat dengan keputusan-keputusan negeri. Dia tak boleh terpakai di Malacca atau Pulau Penang atau Selangor, tak. Ini hanya khusus untuk kes Sarawak yang dah kita kalah dalam kes awal.
This comes in response to questions about the government's decision to withdraw its appeal in the Jill Ireland case. Ireland, a Malanao Christian, had her CDs and religious books seized in 2008 for using the word Allah. The 2021 court ruling granted her the right to use the word for religious and educational purposes. UMNO ministers will raise the government's decision to withdraw an appeal against a landmark ruling which allowed a non-Muslim Sarawakian to use the word Allah in the cabinet meeting tomorrow. UMNO Information Chief Azalina Othman Syed said the issue must be handled with care as it involves religious sensitivities. She said that a more in-depth scrutiny is needed to handle the matter fairly for all parties involved. She added that a comprehensive solution must be discussed and reached, including from a legal and non-legal perspective. Love is in the air in the world of politics. PAS Youth has extended a warm embrace to Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, expressing their willingness to accept his olive branch. But hold on tight, because there's a catch.
PAS Youth has expressed willingness to accept the olive branch extended by Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim to the party. However, they insisted that it must involve Perikatan Nasional as a whole and not just with one of the component parties in the coalition. PAS Youth Chief Ahmad Fadli Shari said the terms and conditions of the reconciliation can be discussed as long as it brings benefits to the people. He clarified that they were not enemies and clashes between parties only involved ideological differences. He also stressed that peace does not mean there will be no opposition, as making peace doesn't necessarily mean that everyone becomes the government. He added that what is important is to fulfill the rights of those who are entitled to them, not to deny their rights and then call for reconciliation. Previously, Anwar had expressed hopes on rekindling a relationship with past President Abdul Hadi Awang.
Sheikh Omar says the convention is proof that loyalty to the Yang di-Pertuan Agong and country comes before politics.
Johor DAP Vice Chairperson Sheikh Omar Ali has highlighted the gathering of former rivals at the Unity Government Convention on Sunday as proof of their loyalty to the Yang di-Pertuan Agong and country. In a statement, Sheikh Omar said the convention came following the decree by the Agong 6 months ago that a unity government be formed. He said 19 parties had gathered for the event, which showed they were willing to let go of the past to uphold the royal decree. He added that PN refused to join the government, which meant that they failed to understand and act based on the royal decree. Sheikh Omar said this in response to former BN Secretary General Anwar Musa's prediction that the convention would encourage a mass exodus from UMNO. He said Anwar's shallow view is nothing but an expression of political greed for power alone that seeks to divide the people. He added that this comes at a time when the unity government under Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim is working hard for the Rakyat to revive the economy and country.
The Prime Minister's decision to extend Azam Baki's tenure as MACC chief is causing some controversy. Critics are now calling for more transparency.
Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has been urged to be more transparent over Azam Baki's tenure extension as MACC Chief Commissioner. All-Party Parliamentary Group Chairperson Syed Ibrahim Syed Noh said the process of appointment needs to be transparent.
Tapi akhirnya kita pastikan supaya proses pelantikan ini pada masa akan datang mesti telus dan diberikan kriteria yang jelas supaya tidak timbul persepsi yang kurang baik, terutamanya kepada orang nombor satu dalam SPRM.
Meanwhile, political economist Edmund Terence Gomez said he was disappointed with Anwar's response to Azam's reappointment. He said it was not acceptable as Azam's credibility has long been in question. Azam's one-year contract extension was announced on May 10th. He reached his mandatory retirement age on May 12th. Anwar had recently explained that Azam's tenure was extended because he did a satisfactory job during his term.
Dr. Mahadir Muhammad and Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim are locked in a verbal showdown. Mahathir has thrown down the gauntlet challenging Anwar to prove his allegations of abuse of power. However, it seems like Anwar has decided to take a different route by demanding evidence from Mahathir instead.
Dr. Mahathir Mohamad has reiterated his challenge to Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim to prove that he had abused his power to enrich himself and his family. In a post on Twitter, Mahathir said Anwar had repeatedly accused him of abusing his power for personal financial gains, but has still not shown any evidence. He said Anwar has instead asked him to furnish proof that he did not abuse his position. Mahathir added that he had no problems with declaring his assets because there was nothing to hide. He said anyone is capable of speaking on a political stage without providing evidence, and these people are called mat rhetoric. On Saturday, Anwar had brushed aside Mahathir's previous call on him to back his allegation. He was quoted by Malay Mail as saying that everyone knew about it. Anwar claimed that Mahathir's wealth is an open secret, and his family is known to be worth billions of ringgit as well as own aircraft, ships and companies. Mahathir has filed a 150 million ringgit lawsuit against Anwar over the claims.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Prasad. Thank you for watching.